If you don't mind my asking, how old are you?
You guess.
25.
Not quite. 96. But I fell down. The next thing was I was in hospital. The fire brigade brought me out. They pick some people up because they can't get an ambulance. They're very good.
When you're in the environment that you're in when you're in the hospital, you want that treatment, you want to know that the doctors and the consultants and all the healthcare staff are working with you. But it's also giving you the empowerment then to get out of hospital, to have that confidence, to have that independence to move on, to know that actually when you're discharged that you're not going to be just sort of put on a doorstep and you're going to be left with nothing. And I think that's then where Hospital Home comes in. You know, we're checking, have you got carers? Do you feel okay at home? Is there anything else that you need? Because we can help put those things in place or ask the questions as to whether there are any additional needs that could be met.
I didn't know anything about this fire service doing this. It sounds to me like an awfully good idea because the ambulances are stretched.
The call's placed to our fire service control room on a dedicated line, identified as the hospital that's calling. They go through a set criteria just to make sure that the service is suitable for the individual, and then as soon as they're satisfied, they mobilise the next available team.
One of the nurses came along later on and said, you can go home now and you'll be taken home by the fire service. And that caught me out a bit first of all, because I didn't know whether she really meant that or not. He came in a car. There was two people with him. They'd already got him in a wheelchair and were wheeling him across the car park. And they offered to bring him all the way up and set things up here. They were very nice people.
Every person that we pick up has such a different story to tell us. And I think it's nice in terms of when we are running hospital to home, people aren't taken home sort of in twos and threes. It's that one-to-one service. So people will talk to us about their children, their families. But then we've also had cases where, you know, you can see that they need that extra support. And they've actually spent that time in the vehicle talking to you. We get them back and actually they're more open then to say, actually, could you help me?
We get into the home and we do that hazard inspection. We're contacting care providers, family members, we're sort of identifying where the medication is. There's been occasions where we've put the heating on, turned the heating off, opened curtains, made a cup of tea, made a sandwich, taking a customer's dog out for a walk. It makes people smile when I say that because it's not something that you would have imagined when we first started this. We're building up a relationship almost instantly with these people.
They came back a different way to what I would have done. Because they come straight into Stratford. I wouldn't have done it. Still, that's their problem, isn't it? Eh?
In some ways it's better to be in hospital because there's people keeping an eye on him all the time. But he's much happier here than he is in hospital. He'll look after himself and home is obviously the best place for him.
We'd like to see this service continued. It's a funded service. It's commissioned by Warwickshire County Council and we think there's room for growth.
I think we've got a lot of skills and potential to expand in terms of whether or not we can go out to other wards and maybe some longer term people who've maybe been in for a month or two.
If you can't get patients home, you can't get patients in, and that's on a routine basis. It's well documented that if you have a crowded A&E that the mortality of patients rise, and that's because you can't get patients to the right place. The fire service taking them home within an hour is the absolute ideal really for us to be able to be working with them.
It's far better being home than in hospital. Better any time, that is.